Hi everyone, I'm Jake Lehman and welcome to my presentation for the Assignment 2 Multimedia Project for the unit Teaching for Diversity, Equity and Inclusion. Before we start, we wish to acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands and the waters on which Australians live and work and pay respect to their elders past, present and emerging. Today I've decided to look at the case study of Nilson. Nilson is a former refugee from Sudan that lives in public housing with his mother and siblings. He speaks limited English and Arabic at home. He is currently in Year 9 at a private, all-boys Christian school. His favourite subject is maths, but needs additional help with his SAE. After school, Nilson wants to study economics at uni. The school counsellor is concerned about Nilson's anxiety and PTSD. This comes from Nilson not feeling like he fits in at the school, as he can't afford what the other students can, and the gap in his cultural differences. We will firstly look at the additional needs or key contextual factors that a teacher should consider in relation to Nilson. First is his diverse language background, as he speaks mainly Arabic at home and limited English. This is an area the teacher must support Nilson in, even by facilitating the opportunity to access an ESL. The next factor is around Nilson being a former refugee and the trauma that comes with that. It is important that the teacher explores what this means and gets to build a relationship with Nilson. This will allow the teacher to talk more frequently to Nilson, making sure he feels safe in the environment. Another factor is Nilson's low SES situation. His mother is a single parent with 3 other younger siblings that need support. Being less advantaged and living in public housing means he has a long commute to school, which can affect all his education and will not have the same access as others to assist his learning. Because of this, the teacher and school need to look at differentiation or routine-based learning for Nilson. Allow him to focus on his schooling and education in a consistent method. Lastly, Nilson is living a different experience to his peers with these cultural differences. So for the teacher to be aware around Nilson's engagement with his peers is important. Looking when doing group work, placing Nilson with the correct students to help his learning, or including topics that Nilson can have great knowledge around to teach his peers his culture. Looking at the relevant legislation and policies the school or teachers may need regarding the needs and factors for Nilson are around the Multicultural Victoria Act 2011, as it recognises that citizenship is central to multiculturalism. Aside from Australian citizenship, it also refers to the rights and responsibilities of all people in a multicultural society. The Multicultural Victoria Act 2011 came into effect on the 1st of September 2011. The 2 points under this that relate to Nilson are: all individuals in Victoria are entitled to mutual respect and understanding regardless of their diverse backgrounds. Also, all individuals and institutions in Victoria should promote and preserve diversity within the context of shared laws, values, aspirations, and responsibility. For Nilson, this means it should not matter about his cultural differences or background within the school environment. He should be allowed to learn in a social environment that respects and enhances his differences by providing excellence and equity. The second is the Parliament further recognises that diversity should be reflected in a whole of government approach with policy development, implementation and evaluation. Linking this back to Nilson is an opportunity for the whole of the school to celebrate diversity and the benefit it brings. Further to this, it should extend to every school environment throughout Australia, providing greater learning for all about diversity. Moving on to identifying relevant community and external organisations that can be accessed to support Nilson and his teachers' knowledge is so important as we look at Nilson's background and how we can help. Firstly, I would like to look into Multicultural Australia website that has many different links and opportunities to engage in. It started in 1997 as a multicultural organisation formed in Queensland to help everyone feel welcome and included. Then in 1998, the Multicultural Development Association became incorporated to deliver essential migrant services, advocate for multiculturalism, and build a strong future for all. They support more than 5,000 newly arrived Queenslanders every year, including refugees, migrants, international students, and people seeking asylum. In relation to Nielsen, I would advise him to look at the Youth Vision project on the Multicultural website. It can apply for support by filling out the form provided to access this additional support. The project is perfect for Nielsen as it is aimed at people aged 15 to 24 and has references around refugees. Regards to the additional teacher support, the Multicultural website provides cultural training for them. It explains that half of the Australians are born overseas or one of their parents are, showing how important this is to understand for teachers. Assisting with this training and awareness to further their knowledge, it helps teachers to work out with cultural diversity, deliver self-awareness, and ready to apply strategies and skills to engage with a diverse environment. Also, in Nielsen's case, helps teachers with refugee training that provides a comprehensive insight to how your organisation can effectively work with refugees. It gives the teachers a training workshop that supports your organisation in understanding the refugee journey for young people and how to recognise their skills and experiences. These all link back to Nielsen's background and the ability to build teacher and school awareness to support Nielsen and cultural awareness. It is crucial this happens because if it doesn't, he could be further marginalised and bullied, or even worse, racially vilified. The next part of this presentation is to provide evidence-based selection of useful teaching strategies and amendments that could help enable a teacher to be responsive to Nielsen and students across the full range of abilities. Nielsen needs most help with his ELA learning as he finds this the most difficult. The first strategy the teacher should use is building relationships. The more the teacher understands Nielsen and his culture, the more the teacher will be able to focus on the areas he needs most help with. From there, you can use differentiation or personalized learning for Nielsen, in particular around the ELA. Setting work that is different from the other students but is still testing Nielsen out will achieve greater learning for Nielsen. This could include using visual support for the verbal instructions giving, using IT or pictures or videos, as they are always engaging. Another teaching strategy is to use inclusive activities involving collaboration with Nielsen's peers. As a teacher, you can put Nielsen in a group that can help guide Nielsen when he needs help learning from his peers. This method is also a great way for his peers to learn off Nielsen and how people are all different. The last teaching strategy the teacher can use is teaching across the curriculum. As Nielsen loves maths, you can highlight the use and understanding of ELA during a maths lesson, as he is more likely to be engaged and more confident in this area. This idea also promotes greater learning experiences and more opportunities to grow. Finally, we need to look at my own perspective, experiences, assumptions, and influences regarding the education system and the teacher's potential to both reproduce and overcome social inequalities for Nielsen and other students. Education in the 21st century is looking to make reasonable adjustments to learning, as there is a need for reasonable adjustments to be made by the school when considering the cultural factors of students and their educational requirements. Through my experiences, this is best done by differentiation of learning tasks and the need to build scaffolding into lessons based on prior knowledge and the individual needs of Nielsen. Education has the power to change lives, with the assumption we provide Nielsen with inclusive education that will help to prepare our future generations in a rapid time of social and technological change. This will help build social, emotional, and cognitive skills needed to succeed and be are best learners. The people that can influence learning is a partnership between students, parents, caregivers, teachers, schools, and the community. Investing in everyone, regardless of their culture and background, is so important to Australia's future. Thank you for listening.